If you are to be re-elected, how would the Nationalist Party under your leadership tackle the issue of debt it faces while avoiding the possibility of corporate campaign contributions from powerful business stakeholders?
Actually, by continuing with the program that we have embarked on, which has, I think for the first time ever in the last years, when I say last years, not the last 2, 3, 4 years, but the last 25 or more years, proven to be successful. Examples, we have properties in basically all major localities and towns and villages, but they weren't being monetized well. So we had a few thousands of income per annum, around 18, 19,000 per annum. By next year, on a program that we have embarked on, that income would have gone up to nearly $250,000. There are initiatives and marathons, initiatives in having better arrangements with our banking structures, and that helps us then to become stronger. For example, our media was costing us millions, and we have embarked on a program over 4 years to diminish that, and by next year hopefully we would be breaking even. So, to answer your question, by continuing on a pre-planned program, which was a 4.5-year program, and we're 3 years down that program, with very, very encouraging results, we can actually achieve even better ones according to what we had planned. Widening the contribution base, rather than being dependent on 5, 10 big contributors, you can choose, and we did, to widen our base to 50,000 contributors. So, a little help from a lot of people, rather than a lot of help from some people. There is legislation which regulates this, and we abide very stringently to this legislation, which is the financing of the parties. And I think it is something which will guarantee to the people, to the voters, that there is no undue influence, because the crux of the matter is that there has to be no undue influence on any party, because then that would create distortions of democracy. We still have to do a lot insofar as the financing of the parties. We have put proposals forward. Hopefully, in the years to come, we would have even more guarantees for our citizens insofar as how parties are financed.
Assuming that this structure keeps maintaining itself as planned, do you have a specific target date or calculated prediction on when this issue of debt can solve itself and where you can eventually break even?
It's not a question of solving itself, certainly. It doesn't. It tries its best not to solve itself. So we need to work hard. However, in the last 2 years, actually, the party was registering a profit, which doesn't mean that the debt is cancelled, because that had been accumulating for more than 2 decades. So our job is to control it and to then have a program where it starts diminishing. There is interest on debt, so the bigger the debt, the larger the interest, and therefore the faster it grows. As soon as you start controlling expenses and increasing income and start diminishing or having structures where the debt is decreasing, and therefore the interest starts decreasing, and the income continues to increase with various programs that we have embarked on, all of which have been successful. There is no date specifically, and it's okay to still have debt as long as it's controlled, the debt, it's not increasing, and it is within the normal parameters of the ratios of debt to property, liabilities to assets, etc. The problem is that there is good governance. That is the issue. We have ascertained that, we continue ascertaining that, and I wish for the Nationalist Party, in the years to come, that there isn't an attitude of any leadership after mine that let's pay now and then somebody else, let's do the expenses now and then somebody else pays later, because it's not mine, because it's not a company, because it's not personal. We have to take an attitude that we are good administrators of the party, we are good bonus pater familias, we say, somebody who takes good care of what they are entrusted with. And I think we can do it, and the results have shown it. We only wish, because it's not only me, but the whole team, that this can continue in this manner.
Vaguely speaking, how many years do you expect to go down the line before you eventually break even, however, if you had to make a prediction?
If by break even you mean that the party is not losing on an annual basis, we already have achieved that. We have actually registered the profit. Our media, by next year, we would be breaking even. So, year on year, we have already succeeded to get there by next year, which was the original planned program. Then with that, to start attacking into decreasing the debt, for me, is nearly impossible to predict for one simple reason. I do not have an indefinite term here, because the terms are by statute, and I cannot dictate the financial programs of those who would come after me, particularly important spends, which are elections, whether it's general elections or MEP elections. So depending on who would be leading the party in the years to come, they would need to decide how much to commit to elections. Most importantly, however, is that there is a very structured, sustainable ratio between what the party owns, receives as income, and not keep on increasing the debt in a manner which is deteriorating the financial good status of the